everybody! Happy Saturday to everyone. Kevin Chan here, 7:30 in the morning today, and today we're gonna bring together some of the things that we have spoken before. Before this we have talked about the different school of BaZi. So you guys know, right? BaZi lah, got the 5-element school lah, got the what we call the Ziping school lah, got this school, that school, many school together, right? So how do we put them together? Yeah, eventually when you are do reading, modern BaZi reading basically is a conglomerate of all these schools together. We put everything together, right? So it's just that when you are learning BaZi, that time you don't put things together when you are learning it. So if you are learning from this school, please learn stuff from this school. Don't try to slot in stuff from other school inside. No, but this one, that particular master, don't have this thing called this one, that particular master. So today I tell you how to put all of them together so that it makes sense. So that it's easier for you to read, so that it doesn't, the layer doesn't fight with each other, right? So that's what we're trying to do today, right? So today we're gonna learn, how to read a BaZi chart, right? So good morning Pepper, good morning Manuel, good morning Jocelyn, good morning Sabrina, good morning Devmo. How you guys all doing? Right, hello Jeannie. Right, so hopefully everybody is doing fine, right? So yesterday we just concluded one of the mid-year review together with Catherine. If you guys miss it, go to the community channel, right? So we will post the replay there. Once the replay has been done, once the great Catherine has edited all the non-required stuff. Okay, come, let's continue with today's session, right? So easier for us to talk together. Hello Eve, how are you doing? Right, so the community channel is where the plushie is, right? So you come and join the community channel. Somehow also this morning I still receive a lot of messages. I missed this, I didn't know it was posted in the community channel like forever and ever ago already. Still don't know lah, this and that lah. Okay, but never mind lah. You guys go there and take a look. Join the community channel, right? So then there's of course always the newsletter. Right, so newsletter is me sending out, mostly forecasts, right? So forecast related stuff. I've scheduled quite a lot of forecasts inside actually. Yeah, I can do the forecast at the beginning of the year for the entire year, so no problem. I've been doing forecast for like so damn long already. Okay, right, so then there is Telegram. You want to PM me, there's stuff to download, right? So if there's anything that can be downloaded, I usually will throw it into Telegram for you guys to download. So you can join the Telegram. By the way, if you are just new joining Telegram, right, you can go back into the media in the Telegram to see what you can download. It is all there, whatever picture that's available is there. You can go and download all the information, right? So that's basically, for that, right? So now, today's topic, to begin it, kick it off, let me ask you a question. How do you determine the value of a building? Yeah, right. So I already know your answer already. How do you determine the value of the building? Right. So this is a building. If I ask you, if this building is good or bad, this is a question that you all like to ask one. Is my BaZi good? It's the same like, you just take a random building out, show people and then say, is this building good? Right, so how do you actually determine whether the building is good or bad? What is the methodology that you use to determine if the building is good or bad? Come, tell me a bit. Let me see, how do you all process the situation, right? So like, for example, is this building good or bad? Valuable, not valuable? No, don't have any building enthusiasts here, right? So you see at the back still got attached building one, then got swimming pool some more, right? Yeah, got upstairs, look at it, I don't know whether that one is a master bedroom or not. It may be a master bedroom. It's big. So if I were to ask you to put a value on this particular building, how much would you put the value, and why do you put this particular value? Is it going to be 6.5 million, 15 million, 24 million, right? Will you call this a 150 million mansion in the what we call Bel Air's area, right? So how would you actually determine the value of this building? 1.5 million for size, window and pool. 1.5 million, frankly speaking, this house of 1.5 million cannot get. 1.5 million US, maybe. Malaysia, 1.5 million cannot. right? You think not good for feng shui, right? So therefore decide to put on the feng shui spectacle to, you know, evaluate this particular building, right? So therefore, Jocelyn, odd structure, right? So Jocelyn decide to go by the structure, right? Not very odd, actually. The structure pretty okay, right? Pretty okay. Right. The cantilever section, I hope that the bed is not there. The bed is there, then feng shui a bit not too good. Right. So now you see, generally when people do an evaluation of anything at all, later I'll give you some example. Right, it looks so out of this world. Oh, right. So now generally when people do evaluation of whatever that they evaluate, anything and all, later I'll give you a different example in evaluation. Now you guys would, you know, connect this very quickly. It's basically by outlook, surface evaluation. You know, they look at it, you know, it's beautiful from the outside, then they will assume that it is valuable. Right. So now a lot of people look at parts also. They look at the surface level stuff. Right, so they look at it, maybe because it's that they don't have the proper training. So if you ask a engineer who built the house and come and take a look at this house, the fellow will not look at the exterior building. Exterior building means that the painting, the surface level, right? So what we call zong style interior design, right? They will not look at the interior design, right? They will look at, you know, the foundation, right? So now these are stuff that they will be looking at. You will know the value of the building, whether the building is valuable or not, whether the building is actually good or not good, determine, right? So good or not good. First thing that they will basically come over, a professional will basically come over, is to basically look at the foundation of the place. If the foundation is no good, no matter what is above the foundation, right, it won't last. Right, so you know, just now you see that, you know, it is basically on the mountain slope. So if the foundation is not done correctly, right, so when the mountain slope move, that time whatever that's on top of it will move together, then gone, bye bye. Right, you wouldn't have a house to do, right? So no, then there's going to be the framework of the house, right? So this is the what we call the housing structure. How is the housing structure is actually being done, whether, you know, like just now you can see that there is a cantilever there. Is the cantilever done correctly or not? You see the cantilever, right? So cantilever is the protruding part of the room, right? So it's an engineering term. So because upstairs is load bearing, right? So, you know, if downstairs doesn't have any pillar to disperse the weight that is being placed on top of it, right? So what happens is that, you know, if that particular cantilever is not built correctly, you put weight on the other side, it will just tilt forward, heavy tilt forward. Then, you know, if it's not done properly, then, you know, the entire forward portion will just disconnect itself. Right, so, you know, I have a sofa bed, right? So I have a sofa bed, you know. So when it's what we call, when it's transformed into a bed that time, right? So when it's in sofa mode, it's fine, right? There was 4 legs under it, you know, when it's in sofa mode, so it's very secure. But when it's transformed into the bed mode, right, there is one particular bed corner that does not have leg one. So if you sleep too much on this particular side, the entire sofa bed will topple. Right, because of the wrong weight distribution. Right, you guys understand? So the importance of having the correct frame for the particular house, and then lastly only you talk about the interior or the exterior. Like this has to do with painting. Now in feng shui also the same, right? So now a lot of feng shui out there, when you take a look at it, what do they do? Ask question also, you know already. What color should I wear? Those are foundational level thing, or those are interior design level thing. What color should I wear? You know, what object should I put here? Should I put a piao here, put there? Those are all what we call furniture. Right? So does the furniture bring up the overall value? So if you're talking about percentage of value in the entire house, how much do you think that the furniture actually carry? But you can see that very unfortunately, a lot of people place too much importance on the furniture, or what we call the interior exterior design, whether it look good or not look good. So this is a piece of wall that's poorly built. The material inside, you know, the in China they call tofu cha, tofu house. Tofu house means that, you know, you guys seen, right? You know, those are news in Taiwan when the particular right now typhoon always visit Taiwan. That's why it's called typhoon. Taiwan got typhoon, right? So it comes and then the building sort of like part collapses, and then they found out that inside the concrete, they were actually what we call the styrofoam inside. Yeah, they actually put styrofoam inside. Or they put those bottles, those milk bottle inside, milk carton inside, so that it does not need to fill up with so much concrete. They save money from doing that. But what happened to the entire structure of the building? Not good, lor. But exterior look completely fine. Huh? Exterior, it look like a building. Interior, it look like a building. What color it is, right? So, but a lot of people is doing that in the outside. They concentrate too much on the superficial stuff, right? But not doing that much on the what we call foundation. So when you are reading BaZi that time, there is also this sort of concern here. So what should be read first? What should be read next? What should be read only there, right? So hello, good morning, fellow enthusiasts. Jolly weekend, good. Thanks, Jolly. Less important, right? But only things can be changed after home is ready. Yeah, right. So the interior is only what can change when the home is basically ready. So in reading BaZi also is the same thing. There are certain things external that you can change, right? But you need to understand what is the internal portion. So today we are trying to cover this. Now, just to prove a point, right? Just to prove a point that you guys waste too much time on exterior stuff. Right? You guys know recently I just went for the first ever, right, pickleball session, just to confirm that pickleball is an actual sport. Just to confirm pickleball is an actual sport. Right, so now this is what I saw in the pickleball court, right? Actual pickleball court. Yay! It is true. Whatever that they advertise on pickleball is true. So you have ladies here with the A-line skirt, very short, super short A-line skirt. Right? So the back is basically completely exposed. I don't know how did the clothes cling onto their body. Right, so now it's like that. So now I ask you, these two fellas know how to play pickleball. No? By the look, the answer should be yes. They look exactly like pickleball player. Right? Thinking pickleball player. If you see like this, right? Oh, this is a good pickleball court. Right? Is it true? Is this the way that you actually assess whether a person know how to play pickleball or not? Right? So now, like this one, you have not addressed any, foundational level. Foundational level mean that whether the person has enough stamina or not. You don't care as long as she look good. Right? Who cares about her stamina, right? So you play any sort of sport, stamina is required, right? So then the next thing is the balance and also your footing, whether the person can balance or cannot balance on the court, right? So that's the foundational level thing. So if your stamina is no good, your balance is no good, what sport you play also die one, right? Don't talk about this. Then only you talk about the person technique. Whether can forehand, can backhand, can do the spin ball, whatever it is, right? So those are called technique. Then lastly, only you talk about dress and equipment, right? But how many people, when we ask them to actually go to play pickleball, right, the first thing that they do is what? Oh yeah, go play pickleball. We need to go and buy new pickleball clothes, right? Does dressing appropriately, appropriately, this is appropriate dressing for pickleball. Does dressing the right way helps you play? Helps you play the game, right? So you guys start to have a good perception on how generally outside people does things, right? So they do too much thing on the superficial side, but they don't address the actual core, right? So when you are reading BaZi chart, is the same, right? Please don't spend too much time addressing the what we call the look factor, right? So too many people address look factor, right? So I show you first, when you are reading, right? So a lot of these things you have already learned, right? I've already told you all, right? So you have already learned, and you should basically start your reading from this particular level. So this is the foundational level, is basically to understand the 5 element growth, producing, the countering cycle. So what does this mean? Is basically for you to know, the stem combine, stem clash, which we have done, right? Branch combine, branch harmony, we have done. Branch clash, punishment, destruction, harm, all of this is basically a BaZi foundational level reading. You need to know this, and you need to know how to address each and every one of this. So which means that, you know, is a person who come and build your house foundation. The fella need to know how deep the foundation should go, right? So you know that you need to build the foundation. The fella need to know how deep the foundation should go. What sort of foundation should the fella use? Is it you need to know use piling as a foundation, or do they need to use an island method as a foundation? Like for example, our KLCC. If you don't know, KLCC is actually built on an island. KLCC is built on an island, yes. Because the ground that the KLCC is sitting on is basically an X mining land. Entire KL is the X mining land. You don't know one, right? So KL is actually famous for tin mining. Yeah, KL is famous for tin mining. Okay, right? So the place that the KLCC is built is basically a huge mining pond, X mining pond. So now what happened is that the ground is actually not strong. So the engineer has found out that, you know, to do that, so purely piling in cannot do it because it's too deep. They can't pile. So what they do is that they make an island out of the entire place. So KLCC is built on a concrete island. Right? So that's the way to do, right? So like, why you need to read all this foundational stuff first, you know, is to fix the BaZi chart. You need to know what is this particular person subject to, the pull and also the pressure. So like for example, if you see that, oh, this particular person naturally have a clash between this pillar and that pillar, so this one needs to be addressed first. So this is like, you know, when you are building a building, you know, you want the building to be how heavy your foundation need to reflect the weight of the particular building. So one-story building foundation requirement versus a three-story building foundational requirement is completely different. So you need to understand first. You need to understand this particular person. So all this you need to go and do a bit of a reading. So these are all the foundational level. You have done all this. So this is the what we call entry kindy level. Right. So now a lot of the 5-element school address this area. And you know, your strength of day master, whether the day master strength is strong or weak, right? So this is basically under the foundational side, right? So it's under the foundational. Should you or should you not find out about it? You need to find out about it, but at the same time, only got the foundational level information, your building is no use for. Which means that, you know, you have a site that only have the site foundation. Right? So you only done the site foundation. You haven't built the building yet. The foundation is not the building. The foundation is what the building is being built upon. Right? So you need to find out about this. You need, right? Do you know how to read this? You know, one eye, you look at it, you need to know, okay, so you know what is the element condition. Like for example, one look, you need to know which is the most dominant element inside the BaZi chart. Now, dominant element got nothing to do with whether your BaZi chart is strong or weak. Please. Right? You need to know the dominant element. In every single classical text also, there is a portion that tells you whether this particular element is dominant or not dominant, because the treatment is different. Right, so good morning, Mike. How are you doing? All of this, when you look at it, you need to know. So, and then you need to know general interaction inside the chart. Is this chart, this side fighting this chart, this side fight, this side supporting the other side? Is it bottom support the top, or top support bottom, bottom hit the top, hit the bottom? All of this, you need to take a look at it, then you need to know. Okay, right? So all of this, you need to have a good grasp of the situation, right? So because when you start to, it's called manipulate the BaZi chart, or start to use the BaZi chart, that all this information need to be able to see. Right? So like a chart with a strong tree harmony is functionally different from a chart that has clash in it. And it's also functionally different from a chart, you know, that has a seasonal element inside of it. Is functionally different from a chart, you know, that basically has a punishment inside. Right? Bottom hit on top hit bottom, just like stock market. Just like stock market, right? So it's those are stuff you need to know, right? So this is first level of foundational reading, right? We have done all the foundational reading things, right? So there are still people who cannot remember what's the destruction. You just go and remember this, only 6 only ma. Yo, right? Cannot remember what's the destruction, cannot remember what the destruction roughly means. right? So when you see destruction that time, your mind should already have, certain things. It's like again, it's like an engineer. When an engineer look at the building and then they see certain things on the the foundation, there's already concluded already whatever is on top of it is going to be subjected to this particular foundation. Right, so like for example, if you see people play pickleball, right? So when every time the fella hit, right, the ball fly to UFO, the ball just fly UFO, right? So enough. When you see the time, do you actually tell them that it's because your racket is bad? Right? If you do that, then you're dead. Right? You blame the racket, then you say that no, because it's your skirt is a bit too long. You do that? Nah, right? So it's not the skirt issue. Probably a lot of time it's not really the racket issue. Not really. Sometimes can be. Right? So if you're playing tennis, then racket may play a lot of role in it, but pickleball a bit less. Because the ball actually doesn't really have a lot of speed. The ball is designed to dampen speed now, right? So it's basically that. Right? So if you take a look at it, a lot of time, the problem is foundationally the eye tracking, right? Because the eye keep on looking on top. So the ball go to top. But do you know that, wherever your eye look at, your body basically adjusts everything to shoot the thing to that side. Just have to control your eye only. Any sport, doesn't matter whether it's badminton, tennis, ping pong. Right? So last time, when I was a bit younger, I played ping pong. Ping pong brutal, man, I tell you, because ping pong a lot of time you don't see the ball. Ping pong, you don't see the ball. You go and watch a ping pong game and see, you cannot see the ball. Yes, that's basically pinball, right? So these are all the foundational level things. So that's why, sometimes I know when I take a look at the people playing ball, although I'm not good at playing these type of things, but because I know the foundational level things, so straight away I take a look at it, I know that your eye is not looking at the correct things. Okay, right? So when you train your eye to look at the correct place, then the rest of the thing would fall in place. Adjusting thing, right? So when you take a look at the particular BaZi chart, right, it look like your BaZi chart a lot of clashes, so you need to address the clashes. That's the first thing you need to address. So you need to understand what is clash, what trigger the clash. When the clash happen, what the hell that you would normally be responding to, then only you can use your BaZi chart in a more correct manner. Make sense? Right, so you need to address the core issue. So all the core issue is basically your 5-element interaction, all of that. Then after that, the next level that you go. So this is the level that we will go into, a bit in the future, which is called the structure level. The structure level is where a lot of classic text basically come in. Classic text actually doesn't really address the foundational level stuff. There are no specific classic text that just talk about foundation level. What they talk about is a lot of the structural, like the Ziping, right? So Ziping would talk a lot of structure, right? So if you read Kung Tong Po Gan, we talk about the purpose of understanding a structure is all of them is to catch what we call useful God, and this is where you go your favorable, unfavorable element. For those of you who really love the strong day master, weak day master school, the Kyong Yok Pai, San Kyong San Yok Pai, right? So the school of the day master, strong or weak, right? So a lot of emphasis on the day master. It's not that it's not wrong, right? It's not that their school is wrong or whatever it is. Then a lot of it, if you actually read, is that they more concentrate on the quality of the element. Instead of saying that the quality of your day master, they actually talk about the quality of the element. So the quality of the element has to do with the accompanying element around it. Right? So like for example, the 7 killing structure, right? So this part of one of the 8 standard structures. Talk about 7 killing structure. 7 killing structure, for it to be useful, it need to be accompanied by a resource star, right? So and also accompanied by an eating god star, and supported by direct wealth. So if you got a 7 killing, so which is supported a bit by the wealth star, then you got the eating god star that is controlling it, and it is also being weakened by a sufficiently strong enough resource star, then this 7 killing star quality is very good. Right? So now is we start to go in and talk about technique. Right, so your pickleball is basically a pickleball technique. So now only we talk about the structural framework, whether this is a three-story structure, whether this is a 80-story apartment building. Those are, the structural thingy, so structural thingy, whether it can sustain the weight of the building or not. Right, so this is where we talk about structure. So a lot of the BaZi school is basically talking about structure so that you can identify the helpful, useful element in the entire reading. So this is the next level. Right, so Ziping, the way that Ziping does is through 10 God. Right, so 10 God school, which is the Ziping school or Ziping, talk about 10 God lah. Right, so talk about 10 God, then Ziping will talk about this God. This God, for this God to be functional, this God need to be seeing this. Right, so the particular book like 孔通宝伽 also does the exact same thing that tell you that, hey, if you are a Jiawood, if you are born in, let's say, the summer of the horse summer, so it's the Jiawood boss in hot summer, then your chart required this thing to accompany it so that it is functional. That's basically what 孔通宝伽 does. It's talking about structure, but it's in a very different manner. Whereas the what we call your 云海疾平 the 疾平 method straight away tells you, if you are a let's say a output structure, right? So output structure, this is an eating God structure. Eating God structure need to have this, and these are the behaviors of a eating God structure person. So this is what they address. Right, so which means that if you are a what we call this is some sort of like looking at things that if this is a 4-star hotel, it need to have this facility. 3-star hotel need to have this facility. 5-star hotel need to have these facilities. Right, so if I ask you, right, what's the difference between 4-star and 5-star hotel? A lot of people don't know. They don't know the difference. Right, but they always say that 5-star hotel is better for the amount of premium that you pay for the 5-star hotel versus the 4-star hotel. If you do not know what's the difference, why are you paying for it? Right? Again, these are people who judge everything by the externality of things, right? So they just look at it from the extra surface. All God's higher star mean is the biggest difference. The biggest difference, between a 4-star and 5-star happen to be the language only. 5-star hotel basically has everything in. They are able to handle more languages. Right? So so that's why if you go 5-star hotel, usually 5-star hotel will be English dominant. Anybody going in is able to handle English. Right? Anybody go in, basically they can handle English. Right? So is it 10 profile? In a way, Joanne, 10 profile is part of the standard structure. 10 profile, so which means that this is the most boring structure they can have. Right? So some structure, because it is of the extreme version, treatment is different. Right? So some structure come in a different package, so the treatment is different. Right? This just basically is building classification. Right? So this one is a terrace house versus a semi-D versus end-lot versus bungalow. Right? So if I use this sort of terminology and tell you that I live in a bungalow, it's basically giving you a structure. So you already in your brain already know this is a bungalow. So the treatment of a bungalow versus the treatment of a semi-D can be different. Now you see the what we call the usable space, the square feet of the terrace and the square feet of the bungalow can be exactly the same one. Right? So terrace also have this what we call superlink. The name is called superlink. Basically, it's just terrace house. It's terrace bungalow all the bungalow put together. Right? Terrace bungalow. So it's usually 100 feet front to the back. Right? So it's big. Right? So yeah, right. So it's like that, right? So it's bungalow, right? So but basically it doesn't have the bungalow, so and end lot and all those kind of things. Those are called structure. Right? So whether this is a like for example condo and apartment. Right? See, condo and apartment basically is the same thing. But what's different? Facility is different. That's it. Apartment and condo, the only difference is in between flat and apartment and also a condominium. Facility is different only. Their construction is the same one. right? Construction wise is the same, right? Start to make sense, right? So those are called structural, right? Those are called structural stuff, right? So you need to read the structural. So second level is reading the structural stuff so that you know in this particular BaZi chart what is the key element that drive the BaZi chart. Why do you need to know the key element? Is to know the key activity. If your BaZi chart is suitable for you to do trading, this is where you find out, whether it's a fast chart. Trading means that, go someplace, buy something, come back, sell. That's basically called a trading, right? So, not the go into the share market. And, you go into the share market also, you are doing the same thing. People go into the share market, do trading. Basically, you buy a stock, you keep it, then later sell it. And that's trading. Right? Trading, the entire purpose is to buy, later sell. That is called trading. Right? If you buy, keep, is not called a trading. Right? You buy and keep is not called trading. It's the same thing. If you are somebody who's doing trading, mean that you go a place, you buy certain product, come back, your intention is to sell the product, not to keep the product. Right? So if you are keeping the product, then you are called a collector. Right? So how to know suitable for trading or not? Usually water. Right? So you need to understand the nature of trading. Right? The nature of trading, you need to move around. Move things around. So which are the elements that move around? If you ask an earth heavy person to go and do trading, dialogue, the fella don't move. How do you do trading? How do you do trading if you don't move? You explain. You need somebody who move, right? Which are the elements that move? Does fire move? Does metal move? The wood move? The only element that move is water, right? So you need to take a look. Water. Water heavy people, is suitable for trading. Hang Seng in the olden days is called, is really do business. Right? So, but if water is not your useful god, can still do trading. Can do. Why not? Now you see, you're asking question that, if you go foundationally, does the fellow have water or not? First question. Is the water a water? And also if okay, I got water there, but it's completely surrounded by earth one. Does trading work for this particular person? Won't work, right? So you're gonna have, if you go and attempt to do trading, it's gonna have a lot of resistance, right? So need to know that, right? So then you go into the structural level. Right now only you talk about useful god. If it's very heavy in earth and you want to travel, what do you need? You need tree to break the earth. Now you need wood to come in and break the earth. Or you need sufficient amount of metal to come in to reduce the intensity of the earth so that the water can be released. That is structural level understanding. Right? So you need to take a look at it, see, so you need to know the day master is what, then what is the earth story to the particular day master. Right? Make sense, right? So there's such level. So the last level only you talk about all this superficial stuff, which is the what we call very popular stuff. This is the third level, is actually the popular stuff. The Shen Sha. Right? So your chart got 10 Yi Gui Ren. Heavenly Yi nobleman. 10 Yi Gui Ren, got 10 Yi Gui Ren, right? There's always people who come and help you one. Bullshit. Right? All the Shen Sha, Na Ying, 12 growth, these are all superficial. This is all Zhong Shao. Right, these are all zhong shao. So that's why a lot of time if you see me, right, I don't talk a lot about the annual reading thingy. The annual reading thingy is basically new pickleball racket, new pickleball dressing. Right, just because today you buy a set of new pickleball dress and a new pickleball pedal and go to the pickleball court, does that make you a better player right now? Right, your house, you do a new what we call, you buy new furniture, you do a new renovation in the house. Does that increase your house value significantly? Think of it that way, right? So now every year you are given new Shen Sha, right? So if that particular year your Shen Sha happen to be better, like yesterday we cover some of the Shen Sha for next year, right? So like red is one of the Shen Sha, is gonna go like deep dive, nose dive down, right? So the stock market is basically a, people say, lao side gap down plunging situation for the red. right? So what does that mean, right? So you need to go and find out that, you know, what is the condition of the rat. If the condition of the rat is already pretty bad inside your chart, next year outside some more, right? So then you better be prepared for the outside. If BaZi basically is more metal and fire, can still do trading. Any BaZi chart, whatever configuration, also can do trading. The game is different. So it's like asking, you know, whether a fat person can play sport or not. Right? Very recent, you know, don't know why, you know, if I accidentally, you know, there is a lot of physically, if you see that particular person, you will conclude that the fella cannot. It's like Hong Gambo, Sammo Hong. Sammo Hong, if you look at his size, it's big. But when he's doing his Kung Fu move, that time damn agile. He can do all the flips, you know, whatever, the jump, the balancing, everything also can do despite his size. Right? So how do you explain? You know? So Mike, your question is that particular question. Right? Because I don't know your BaZi foundational level thingy. Right? So all these things need to know. Right? But got the line like 3 victory. Yeah, no, so you see the chart, you know, oh, got this, you know. So now this one is basically, I'm telling you, a lot of people, when they go and look at a property, right, they are impressed by the furniture. Oh yeah, this place look very nice, impressed by the furniture itself. You know, they know squat about the structural of the building. They know squat about the foundational of the building. Right? So they just base the value based on the external visual of the building. Dangerous. That one is very dangerous way of reading. Right? So, you know, if anybody come in and basically give you a reading, you know, based on the what we call the superficial external, right? So the most common one is basically using Sensha, most common. Right? So they're going to say, oh no, this year you got, you know, 10-year Guiren, you know, this year you got this particular star, this year you got this, but wow, no, you're going to be on now. You see, it never addresses the actual way that your BaZi chart can sustain. No. So it's like you buying the most recent, most hot furniture that's available, thinking that it will increase the value of your house. And then when the furniture is delivered to your house, you found out that your door is not big enough for the furniture to come in. Right? So a lot of people say that, you know, oh, you know, I want to buy a big dinner table, you know, the rounded dinner table that can sit like 15 people. Never thinking that, you know, the house, the dinner table cannot come in because you got a tiny door. Right? So these are people who, you know, don't look at, you know, structural. Right? So now give you another example. Right? So this is where ini mana? You guys know where is this? Line, not very difficult, right? Look like the land of the Lurf. Anybody been to this place before? Anybody from this place actually? Paris, right? So anybody from this place? Right. So now Paris has always been a place whereby is highly associated with sophisticated romance. Because why? You know, this is how. See, Eclipse somehow know a bit about the Paris actual situation, right? So if you look at this, you know, Paris, right? What go through your mind? Sophisticated cafe, you know, from one of these, I don't know whether you want to call colonial building. No, sitting right beside the street, you know, taking a cup of English breakfast, maybe, I don't know, right? Don't know, maybe English breakfast, you know, sipping it, you know, enjoying the cool air of Paris, you know, talking about love. Yeah, no, Jenny said fashion, right? So yes, you know, Paris is also the place, you know, whereby fashionable people with the latest, greatest, the most recent fashion trend, you know, come out, you know, show you the latest Gucci, Prada, Hermes handbag, you know, swing it around. This is basically Paris, right? Now, is that a surface level knowledge or is that a deep level knowledge, right? So like Eclipse said, the place is stinky. The place is actually terrible. It's a terrible place, okay? Paris is a terrible place, right? Go there, take a picture, can. Right? Everything is overly expensive. Hey, hello, hey, sit there, you call a pot of tea, you know, at least for us poor Malaysian. Few $100, no. Few $100 Malaysian for a pot of tea, you know. I go Cameron Highland and drink that pot of tea also, I want to start scolding already. Because why? You go and buy a bag of tea is 2 ringgit. Same tea, exact same tea that is used in the restaurant for give you the tea, you know, which gonna charge you like 42 ringgit a pot. It's 2 ringgit in the shop. And hot water. Every single tea is the same. Tea leaf hot water. There's no special stuff in it. It's charged as 42 ringgit. Explain to me. Right? So now you know. So go there and know what are you paying for? Ambience, all the stuff like that. Right? Lazy day, enjoy coffee, can last for hours, which gone cold, unsure how to love it. Exactly, right? Tea so expensive. Yeah, it's very expensive. Tea is from China. Ceylon. Tea is from Ceylon. Alright, Sri Lanka. Ceylon. Right, so you know the other day you know, so went for the what we call stand-up comedy, right? So there was a Filipino, you know, so Filipino, you know, the father is basically from Ceylon, his father or grandfather from Ceylon, right? So the grandfather always said, no, this rubbish called Sri Lanka, it's called Ceylon. The country is called Ceylon, it's not called Sri Lanka. Right, so now that you can see, right? So from the surface, from what you all look at it, right? So how do you judge the place? You're judging the place by the surface, no? You don't know what is happening, you know, at the particular place, you know, you don't know what happening is there. So the structural level and also the foundational level thing is not there, right? So you don't know how is the, so like talking about foundational level is basically talking about, you know, what is the main economy there, income level. So if you are trying to understand a place, whether the place can or cannot, you need to know this structural level thing. Right, so like also example, you know, the pickleball, right? So pickleball good business, right? So yesterday night, you know, just went over to a pickleball court, you know, the fellow got 6 court, right? So 1 court is 35 ringgit per hour, right? So you see, you can already start doing the maths already, right? So you know, so if it's 6 court, 35 ringgit per hour, if the fellow operate, let's say 10 hours a day, right? So 1 month is basically 60,000 only, you know, the entire place. Max revenue generation for 1 month is 60,000. Now, is that sustainable for that particular place? You do your maths, right? It's 600,000 a year. How much do you need to invest in to get the place to set up the pickleball court? 1 to 2 million. 1 to 2 million. Yep. Yeah. You think it's freaking cheap, one? Okay. Yeah. It's not cheap, you know, setting up the thing, you know, then you got your rental, you know, so that one cheap. The other day, when I went to the pavilion one, that's $100 court in pavilion. You know how much is the rental? And the fellow got crews of people around. Right? It's the same court, it's the same, you know, it's the same court, it's the same design, you know, people are playing the same game, right? So this is $100, you know, an hour. This is 35 baht an hour, and the difference is not much only, by the way. So you know, this one probably earn about, you know, 120,000 a month, right? But the thing that you need to support, right? So now these are understanding foundation level versus the superficial level. Right? Superficial level, people will take a look, oh no, a lot of pickleball court must be good business. And then what happened? I want to start a pickleball court as well. Then you die standing. You can't play the game if you don't know the foundation level. Same thing also, you know, with cafe, right? A lot of people say, oh yo, this one make a lot of money. See, a lot of people come, look at, you know, everything is basically lining up, you know, very good business. I also want to start a cafe, die. Right? Because you do not know all the foundational level thingy, you do not know all the structural level. You have never seen that, you only see superficial. Eat pickle. And by the way, right, just to show you, this is not Paris. This is China. This is China. Yes, this is China. Okay. Right. So can you see when you're reading the BaZi chart that time, when you're reading the superficial stuff, right, you end up this problem, you know. Your BaZi chart reading, you know, basically go into crap mode, you know. right? But yeah, this year you got 10 亿贵人, so this year you're gonna be awesome. No. Okay, if your 10 亿贵人is subjected to all the clashes, all the punishment inside your chart, the 10 亿贵人 cannot do anything. Right? It's like you have a nobleman that's being tied up. You got a nobleman, but the nobleman is busy with other things, right? No time to come rescue you. Understand or not? Right? So that's why, please don't read superficial. So a lot of people, especially the 12 growth, I know because a lot of software label the 12 growth. Right? So they look at it, oh, this one is undeath, finish lah. 12 growth doesn't talk about that, it's just terminology, naming convention, right? So like this one, Eiffel Tower. Then straight away you guys say, Eiffel Tower is in Paris, right? No, it's in China. This is how it looked like. Yeah, they actually built a town based on the Eiffel Tower. By the way, this is already pretty much dead and abandoned. Right? Like you got golden carriage but no marriage in the family. Yeah, exactly. Right? So it's like, this year, it's like golden carriage. Right? So what does golden carriage have to do? If let's say that your BaZi chart mainly, speaking again from the classical point of view, right? So you're a lady that's sitting on earthing officer. Golden carriage. Death is Mortal Kombat fatality. Yes, maybe there is, right? So that's how the entire thing is, right? So you guys start to have it, right? So when you are doing the reading that time, please don't read it in reverse. So too many people also I've seen, too many things that they are concerned more on the surface level thing, which is very normal. You go see a building, also you're concerned, like for me, so I said that, yesterday I went to a pickleball court. They call it the serious proper pickleball court. So when it's serious proper pickleball court, when you go there, you don't see the lady dressed in those typical pickleball, way, right? So when I go there, I say that, oh, this is not a pickleball court. I just tell that, that, hey, I can't play pickleball, right? I can't. Right? So if I can't play pickleball, what's the next best thing I should have? At least can see pickleball. I don't want to see people play pickleball seriously. That's no fun. Right? So probably I'll go back to the what we call the pavilion. That pavilion there, the quality of the player is much higher. They are more properly dressed. So we say, you bad guy, what to do? I can't play pickleball, until a day that I've trained enough that I can play pickleball correctly. And then, we have a different conversation. No lady, no pickleball. Got auntie washing. Right? So all they got very serious pickleball player, right? Right? Nothing superficial there. Everybody is dressed in the non-seeable manner. Okay, yeah. Right, so same thing, when you are reading or when you are assessing somebody who is reading the BaZi chart for you, to further emphasize too much on the surface level thing. You're not going to go anywhere, right? So you're not going to go anywhere with this, right? So if you want to increase the value of the building, you need to start from the foundation and structural level. Foundation level including your wires and your pipe. Right, so yeah, right. So it's like, if you buy a building, the building is 30 years old, right? The first thing you should be thinking is not the furniture. The first thing you should be thinking is, hey, how's the pipe? If it's in Malaysia, definitely very bad. Then how's the electrical wiring? Right, so nowadays the electrical wiring also carry very different load. Like for example, if your house, you need to put in a electric car for charging. To fix the charging box, you need 3-phase electricity. You don't know, right? Whether the entire area can actually carry the loads or not. Yeah, right? You think, I buy an electric car, I can put it on the 3-pin plug to charge. You put the 3-pin plug to charge, charge until next day also haven't reached 50%. Yeah, you think the 3-pin plug, it's like, unless you can put there like, maybe half a day you don't drive it, then probably you can charge. You need a more efficient charger. That one need a, take too long, right? So you guys know, right? So yeah, so those are stuff lor, no, like surface level thingy is like, you know, oh, I buy a electric car, you know, it's gonna save me on fuel, right? Do you know you're gonna waste time, right? So the very classical nowadays is that, you know, you go to a place, there's only 3 charger, 2 of them is broken, and the only one that's there, there's 6 people waiting to charge. If everybody, the 6 people, if everybody just take 30 minutes to charge, you might as well take a taxi, go home, right? Understand? No? So those are structural level thingy, you know, your charging facility and also the available of your charging facility. Those are called structural level stuff. Your electric car is the superficial level stuff. Whether you own or you don't own an electric car, that is very superficial. But whether the entire system can, you know, if you stay inside a condo, install your head a charger, right? How to pull the electric cable to your driving slot, unless they reassign all the driving slot and the parking slot, sorry. Understand or not? The condo building just cannot do it, you know. So you should ask you to, you know, install, let's say 1,000 charging slot there for 1,000 car is very small amount in a condo unit. In a condo building, 1,000 lot is very small. Ask them to install to for 1,000 and see. And how are they gonna charge the charging? Right? These are structural issue. So if you don't address the structural issue, your superficial thinking are all useless. So all your Sensha is useless unless it's structurally viable to use the Sensha. Like for example, you know, General Star. General Star is a very powerful leadership star. If your BaZi structurally cannot control leadership style, and which means that, you know, either your 7K or your DO is basically crappy. I give you General Star, you die. Cool. Right, so this is basically, you know, what I give you, right? So this will form the I will call foundational level in BaZi reading, because later down the road we will straight away go into BaZi reading and we will not address all this stuff. So hopefully, you know, you guys know. So if anybody ask any of this particular question, I'll ask you to go and watch this video, and you need to go and find the video because I also don't remember. Okay guys, alright, so that's it for today. See you guys again, bye.